Hi, I'm Stuart J. Raj,
Wimintra.
and this is South by
Southeast.
5 things I love about living in Southeast Asia.
Okay, let's get started.
You go first.
I go first. First thing that I like about being in Asia, in Southeast Asia, is food.
Yes.
The easy access to food every day, any time of day.
Yes.
Very easy. Like when we were in Europe, I mean, you have food in Europe too, but it's not like you can just find something at, I don't know, within your house or, you know, at 2 o'clock in the morning. In Bangkok, Hong Kong, you can actually find those kind of food.
Yeah. Everywhere around
Around
here.
the clock.
Yeah, and really good food. For me, I'm the same. Food is one of the things that I love about living in this part of the world, and awesome food. Not just Asian food is done well, but food from
like
all over.
Yeah, it's true. Like if you talk about places like Singapore, for example, they don't have street food. Yeah, but they do, but not like in Bangkok where you actually can just go any time of day, right? But they still have those little food courts that you can just go and sit and, you know, no aircon but I just love being in Southeast Asia because it's so easy to find food.
Yeah, I love the price of the food, the taste
and
of the
price.
food, the variety of the food, the quantity of the food, all of it. You don't just, and so if you go to a restaurant, you don't order just one dish. You order many dishes, and so every meal you have a feast, and it's fantastic.
So we have the same one on our number one?
Yep.
Okay, now I'll let you go for...
what's the next 2? One for me, so let's go on to number 2, I would say the lack of political correctness. Especially for me these days, political correctness, you've got to be super, super careful about everything you say. Everything's loaded. It might trigger somebody, but like living in Thailand and even going a lot through China, someone just says, oh, hi, you're fat, you're black, you're white, you're ugly. You're not good at that.
It's never okay to actually greet people like that anyway. Like, hi, you're fat.
But you know what? People greeting me like that is actually a real mirror. I'd actually prefer that, even though it hurts.
But I don't greet you like that. I told you that.
You tell me that. No,
different.
but people do. They say one. Even I'll hear the guards walking past, and I say, oh, one, you know, and or the motorcycles. They have no problem saying that. And yeah, they were right. I was fat. I need to lose weight, and it inspired me to lose weight rather than me feeling okay with it. I personally think fat shaming, for me, I like it and I appreciate it.
No.
So anyway, so for me, I love the lack of political correctness, and it still hasn't caught up. It's changed a bit, but it hasn't caught up to the West.
When that happened, okay, not about being fat, but when people call you fat, you get angry. Why is that? That's almost the same thing.
Yeah, what I don't like. Yeah, okay, you have a point there. The thing with the Falang bit is I don't like different behavior towards me. For example, charging me something different or
fat,
assuming something.
Differently too.
Yeah, but it's different. Like if I go somebody and they anticipate...
You're funny because you're fat.
Well, if they anticipate just because of the way I look and then they're actually going to charge me differently, whatever, I'll do something to cut that off in the past, at the pass. But... yeah, okay, good. They can do it, and then it's up to me whether I decide to counter it or not. Okay, what's your number 2?
Okay, my number 2 is, what is this? I call it flexibility.
And what is that?
Like, you know, you can just do whatever you want, pretty much. For example, okay, a solid example, like a taxi stand. In Singapore, if you need a taxi, you actually have to walk to a taxi stand.
Yes.
And it's sometimes it's far and you're on your high heels and you're like, oh, where is this stand? But like in Bangkok or in Hong Kong, sometimes you can kind of just like, you just get taxi and you just jump in.
Yep.
So I kind of like that about Southeast Asia.
Unless it's our soy and the taxis just won't take you.
Yeah, but like in Bangkok, in general, you can just do that. You don't have to walk to a taxi stand. You can just pretty much snatch taxi on.
And flexibility, I guess that is for rules in general. Most things are flexible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably not the best thing for the country and for for us as an Asian, but you know what? It makes life so
simple
and so easy sometimes. Like,
less
it's
bureaucracy.
just not strict. Yeah, it's just not too strict. This is not a military state, even though it kind of is, but it's still not. Okay, you go number 3.
Okay, so for me then, life has more color. Now, just give you an example. Like in the space of 2 days, my work, I could get a call and tomorrow I'll end up in China. Or a couple of days ago, I was involved in one project, signing a Bollywood deal between a Thai superstar and an Indian and a US Bollywood production company. Today, I'm working with Toro Rosso, Red Bull, and F1, Alex Albon, who's the F1 driver. And then I've also been talking to China all day on aerospace projects and talking to Italy. There's every single day there's something different that you could do, and you don't know if I'm going to get a call today and I'll end up in another country tomorrow. And that's just a normal week. If say in Australia, you can't do that. One, because it's so far away. Two, things just aren't as dynamic and colorful and vibrant all around the clock.
Yeah.
So I love the fact that life is colorful, life is dynamic, and you never know what's going to happen tomorrow.
Yeah. So my number 3 is kind of the same. I wrote it here. Is that varieties?
Yeah. So
we have, because Southeast Asia have everything.
Yeah.
Basically, if you want to go luxury,
Yeah.
you go luxury. If you want to go local, you go local. You want to go global, you can do that too. And nightlife, you name it. How dodgy you want your nightlife to be, or you want some, a good jazz. You have that.
Yeah.
Like in Hong Kong, you can do that as well. You can go to Wan Chai, or you go to Hollywood, or wherever. I like that about and when it comes to, like, when I said dodgy, it's not like dodgy is like in the West where they actually will just like shoot you.
Not seedy, dodgy, but you can
No.
go
And
to
then
heaven.
bar fights happen, but it's never happened, like, it's not a regular thing.
Yeah, I was surprised. I
not.
hadn't been to Australia for a long time, and like I would be driving around, say on a Friday night, and you'd just probably see a bar fight somewhere if you drove past enough bars.
Yeah.
Here,
I've
you don't
heard
see
that.
bar fights, but my theory is why you don't see them here is because actually someone's going to end up getting killed. Because they might lose the bar fight, but then they're going to come back afterwards and it'll be finished.
No, but it's actually, honestly, it's just not how it was never something that embedded in our culture anyway.
Yeah, you respect people.
Like, we just try to avoid conflict and confrontation.
Yeah.
But okay, with a good amount of alcohol, everyone
Yeah.
go off their track. But yeah.
However, here when fights happen, very rarely will it be one-on-one. People will gang and then it'll be done.
That's not my number 3. My number 3 is the varieties of choice.
Yeah.
On how you want to live your life here is you want to live in a studio apartment, you want to live in 3-bedroom, you want to rent a house, you want to eat street food, you want to eat Michelin star, you want to buy H&M, you want to go for Christian Dior. You have it all, and the price is like affordable.
I agree. Okay, next one. I would say, well, I originally had food, but that's moved down to that one. I would say, for me, language. I speak most of the languages from this part of the world, and it gives me an insight, I think, into all these countries that, for me, is one, fascinating, and two, on a business perspective, it actually gives me an edge, and I get opened up to experiences that I'd never have anywhere else. So the languages fascinate me just as a subject, but then it fascinates me then what I'm able to do with the languages. So language is the next one for me. How about you?
So this is my word number 4.
Yeah.
Okay. So it's a hub for traveling.
Yes.
It's very easy to travel, and Southeast Asia, you want to go to Laos, an hour. Cambodia, 50 minutes.
Yeah.
Singapore, an hour and a little bit. And Malaysia, Brunei, you can just go anywhere. And it's a hub for everything else as well. Like, I love that about being in Southeast Asia, especially in Bangkok, where you can just, hop on a plane and just show up somewhere. Like 6 hours, you'll be in the Middle East.
Yeah.
And what, 8 hours, 10 hours, you'll be in Paris.
Yeah, it's actually not that far. And 2 hours actually to this side of India, 3 hours, 4 hours to you can get anywhere quite fast.
Yeah. So the logistic is very, very good in this part of the world. And if you're in Singapore, it's even like easier.
Yeah.
So that's what I love.
My last one, I will call it, you can get shit done. For example, like for our wedding.
That's like my flexibility. Like,
your flexibility, but like this is on steroids. So you want to design a suit or you want to design a dress and get it done, you'll have it knocked up in, like with a real prototype in 1-2 days.
Yeah.
You want to get something done, you want to get a sign done, you can get it done. You want to get t-shirts printed, bang, I can do it at like 7 o'clock at night to have an idea for something. At 8:30, I can have a t-shirt fully printed up.
Yeah.
In China, if I want to get prototypes of electronic models, I just go into Shenzhen, I find the guys, bang, 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 bang. Things will be made up.
Yeah.
Things that would take even months in the West can be done within a day or two here. So you can get stuff done here.
So I think my number 5 is similar to yours, but on a medical side.
Yes.
Because it's just so easy. Like you can just go to the drugstore and just give yourself drugs, basically. Like it's when you're in the U.S. and in Europe, it's like it's a pain that just to get something so just so normal for us, you need a doctor prescription. But here it's like, okay, just give me that, and you get that. And even doctor visits are quite cheap.
Yeah, and even so, like we have a friend who's a doctor, and they will do like vitamin infusions and stuff that you can just do in the home.
Yeah, you can call home delivery, medication. You can do all this whole wellness at your house. You can do it in a hotel, and all this all the blood tests and all that can be done super easy. And I always have problem with my skin, and going to a dermatologist is like. It's a regular thing for me, and I don't think I would be able to afford it if I ever, have to move somewhere in the U.S. And I could just buy like over-counter stuff pretty easy. Yeah.
I would say from also, if you're looking at it, say in Australia, you have like Medicare and the government one. And so the whole goal there, if it's not private insurance, is to how cheaply can we look after what you've got and take care of it in an ethical manner.
Yeah.
In the US, I think it goes the other way from what I hear, because it's just so expensive. And so the insurance companies, it's always a war with it. Here is this sweet spot where I don't think, okay, many Thais will have insurance, whatever, but if you don't, it's not so much it's going to kill you for most things. And you can then choose to get these things that you probably would never get either in, say, the US because it's way too expensive, or in Australia because the government stuff wouldn't cover it. So we have amazing medical facilities here in Thailand.
But you know what? In Singapore is different. In Thailand, yes, it's probably really, really good. But I've heard in Singapore, if you actually have a minor, like for example, stomachache or headache, you actually have to wait a long time to see a doctor.
What's the same in Australia?
The same in Australia. So I think in the developed country, it's different. But here you can just walk into any clinic, any hospital and say, I have headache. I don't know, I just have headache. Just check me, scan my brain or whatever, and they will do it as long as you can pay.
And then the other thing is too, supposing you kind of know what you need, and many pharmacists here are very good. You can just go in, you don't even have to go through that step, and you get the drugs.
Exactly. You just tell them like, I have this, and it's probably this, and they're like, okay, well here.
Some people might see that as a down thing, but actually it's good.
I like that about being in Asia and especially Thailand.
Yeah. And even for animals, the vet and everything, we can do it in humans, animals. We can get things treat it well and not expensive. There are 5 things that both of us like about Asia. We're going to come up with the things that we don't like about living in Southeast Asia in the next clip.
But let us know what you like about Southeast Asia.
And don't forget to hit subscribe, ring the bell so you get notified next time we put a clip up, and we'll see you next time. Bye.